Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. To start us off, I will explain what the Youth for Youth program is and what we do. The Youth for Youth program is an educational initiative that has been directed towards creative economies and seeks to build a community of students and young people globally, educating them on sustainability and the circular economy. The program provides educational resources, practical tools, and digital platforms where we collaborate with young people as agents of change within regenerative industries. The Youth for Youth program actively participates in the co creation of a system of influence where knowledge is distributed and collaborative learning occurs. These activities include talks, workshops, virtual events, youth acquired skills and knowledge about circular economy, conscious consumption, and cultural preservation. One of the projects we are currently working on is titled Culture Consumption and Circularity, Rethinking the Future of Fashion. This report addresses, firstly, how the fashion industry today affects the environment. Secondly, gravitating towards a model inspired by the principles of circular economy and significance thereof. And finally, the value of conscious consumption and its relationship with preservation of culture. This project seeks to inspire young people to change their consumption habits through educating them on social environmental impact of the linear production model while also contributing to systemic change within the current model. Our work focuses on foundational pillars. The first one is the circular economy, which allows us to rethink the life cycle of products and minimize and reduce its environmental impact. And then secondly, the re-evaluation of knowledge and cultural diversity, defending the enormous value of traditions and ancestral techniques as a way to empower communities and preserve our collective identity. Now, as an icebreaker to start things off, I'd like to invite you all to participate in a quick quiz to test your knowledge on the subjects linked to what we will be addressing today. You can either join through scanning the QR code on the screen or through using the link that will be sent in the chat. Has everyone joined? So we have 5 players ready. Okay, let's get started. So you'll answer the question here. How many liters of water does it take to create one pair of jeans? Everyone has voted. Okay, let's take a look at this. Oh, yes, that's correct. It takes 7,500 liters of water to create one pair of jeans. Let's go to the second question. What percentage of total global carbon dioxide emissions can be traced back to the production, distribution, and consumption of clothing? Okay, let's check out the answer. Okay, true or false? Synthetic fibers, including nylon, polyester, acrylic, cause water pollution through releasing microplastics with every wash. Is this true or false? Yes, to everyone who voted, it is true. Let's go to the next question. How does the globalized nature of fast fashion supply chain contribute to environmental issues? Either through streamlining material sources, through extensive shipping of goods, which leads to a substantial amount of carbon emissions, or by promoting localized production. Okay, so the correct answer is through extensive. Oh, sorry, so I'm still voting, sorry. But it's through extensive shopping of goods, which leads to a substantial amount of carbon emissions. Let's go to the next one. Which fashion brand has admitted to burning unsold stock as a means to protect the brand? We have Burberry, Louis Vuitton, or Adidas. Okay, so the correct answer is actually Burberry. Okay, let's go to the next. How long does a polyester shirt take to decompose? We have 15 years, 145 years, or 200 years. Yes, the correct answer is 200 years. It's a very long time. Sorry. Okay. How often is the average fast fashion item worn? 7 times, 2 times, or 10 times? Okay, so unfortunately, the average is definitely seven. I wish it was more too, but it isn't. Let's check it out. Okay, so these are the results. Wow, okay, so the winner is Wolfmeister. Congratulations. Okay.
We're gathered today to talk about a shift that is not only urgent but absolutely necessary, a shift from fast to fair. because the way we consume today, especially when it comes to fashion, carries a cost that goes by far beyond price tag. We are living in the age of ultra fast fashion, a model that is even more aggressive than the traditional fast fashion, right? But what is an ultra fast fashion? Ultra fast fashion is an extremely form of fast fashion characterized by the accelerated production and distribution of clothing, driven by a real data analytics, low-cost manufacturing, and aggressive online marketing. Unlike that traditional fast fashion, which may release new collection weekly, ultra fast fashion brands such as Shein and Temu launch thousands of new items daily, responding almost instantly to emerging trends. So this model relies on the exploitation of cheap labor, often in unregulated conditions, and generates massive environmental harm through the overproduction, textile waste, and carbon emissions, and also promotes a culture of disposability, encourage consumers to view clothing as a temporary and easily fade pleasurable rather than value or durable. The next one, please. So we have that platforms like Shein and Temu release up to 10,000 new items per day using algorithms and data to predict trends and push massive volumes of cheap clothing at record speed. That number singing 10,000 new products daily. Shein alone was valued at 66 billion in 2023, if I'm not wrong, and produces more than 1 million new items every day, which most of which are worn only a few times or not at all. Temu, on the other hand, entered the market with a strategy of hyper-consumption, selling electronics, accessories, and clothing at ultra-low prices. And this is often subsidized by their own company to promote mass sales and customer addiction. But behind this overproduction and artificially low prices lies a hidden reality. First one is the exploitative labor conditions, particularly affecting young women and migrant workers in countries like China, Bangladesh, and Vietnam. In 2021, an investigative report found that Shein factory workers often 15 to 18 hours per day with no weekends, earning as little as 4 cents per garment. So the labor rights violations are a routine, and there are virtually no supply chain transparency. We have also the environment destruction on a massive scale. The fashion industry is responsible for up 10% of global carbon emissions, more than all the international flights and maritime shipping combined. It is also the second largest consumer of water worldwide, using 98 billion cubic meters per year, and produces about 92 million tons of textile waste annually. And perhaps the most dangerously is a culture of disposability that I mentioned before. This platform are training an entire generation to see clothes as a short-term contact, something to buy, show off once, and throw away. This mindset disconnects us from the labor resources and tradition behind what we work, and it disconnects us from people and from the planet too. This system is not unsustainable, but it's deeply unjust. And that's why we, as a youth, must be the forefront of the transition to conscious consumption. We're not only the most impacted by the consequence of this model through climate change, economic precarity, and loss of cultural identity, we're also the generation with the imagination, the tools, and the networks to challenge it. Rethinking consumption is not about guilt, it's about the power to make informed and international choices, the power to reject narratives of endless growth and disposability, and finally, the power to build something else, something rooted in justice, care, and regeneration. So today, and because consumption can be conscious, fashion can be fair, and economies can be circular, inclusive, and alive. So today, in this space, we will explore real alternatives because the future isn't something we wait for, it's something we weave together, thread by thread. from fast to fair.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Today I'll be talking about the environmental and societal impact of unsustainable consumerism. Out with the old and in with the new. It is a mentality that is regarding the speed at which trends come and go. Fast fashion especially is affected by this unsustainable consumption, where one can see trends on TikTok change at an alarming rate, at which we are consuming fashion is at an all-time high, knowing that fast production creates 10% of humanity's emissions. That fashion as an environment is the depletion of renewable resources, the use of copious amount of water, energy, and the production of microplastics. Those are the key environmental factors that are impacted by unsustainable consumption of fast fashion. For producing only 100 of water for fire, like millimeter activity, producing a pair of jeans up to 2 gallons of water. Projections are that by 2030, the water consumption of the fast fashion industry is expected to escalate to 180 billion cubic meters. Not only that, but also the textile dyeing is the second most polluter of water because the water not only used in the rest of the process. It is often dumped into rivers, streams, or ditches. The dyeing, water, and completion of the garments contributes to 20% of global wastewater. There are cases in which the psychochemicals qualities of the water is less biodegradable. Moreover, it is estimated that 35% of plastic microfiber discharges into water bodies impacting the ecosystem in which are dumped. Not only the byproducts of fast fashion are big contributors to pollution, but also the very production of the garment. The textiles is an energy cycle that keeps require constant quantities of petroleum, which release two particles and acts like hydrogen chloride. Petroleum's role is particularly crucial in fast fashion production, which an annual consumption of 7 million barrels to create fabrics like polyester only account for 16% of the demand for most commonly used fibers.
Okay, so regarding the enduring side effects of the fast fashion, we suggest two solutions for the future of the fashion industry. So for the first solution, we suggest a circular economy. So according to the United Nations Economist Network paper, circular economy is an approach that aims to extend the life cycle of products and materials, regenerate natural systems, and eliminate waste and pollution from the outset of production. In other words, rather than following the linear paths of take, make, and dispose, we pursue the circular cycle of make, use, return, reuse, and remake. So in the context of fashion industry, rather than producing fast, disposable fashion, circular models focus on making durable, repairable, and recyclable garments. To foster circular economy in the fashion industry, our goal is to create a cycle where resources can be reused multiple times. For example, textile industry's adoption of manufacturing process that minimize waste with recyclable fabrics, or implementing systems to recover and repurpose products at the end of their life cycle. Benefits of the circular economy includes environmental, social, and economic dimensions. In terms of environmental dimension, it could be prevent the depletion of natural resources and reduce pollution caused by the use of materials and industrial processes. From the societal dimension, it could be create jobs in activities like recycling, repair, and innovative design. In economic dimension, it could be reduce cost for producers and consumers by reusing materials and creating durable goods, or diversifies income streams through activities like repair and recycling. Thank you. Now we'll take a look at how protecting cultural heritage plays a vital role in building a more sustainable and circular fashion system. Cultural heritage in fashion refers to traditional knowledge such as weaving, embroidery, dyeing, and garment making that's often passed down through generations. These practices are deeply rooted in community, identity, and sustainability. Now, I'll talk about three primary benefits of preserving cultural heritage in the fashion industry. First one is reducing environmental impacts. Many indigenous and traditional textile practices use natural dyes and hand weaving and local materials, which have minimal environmental footprints compared to the industrial processes. Supporting these methods reduces reliance on chemical-heavy and energy-intensive manufacturing. Moreover, cultural heritage often emphasizes craftsmanship, quality, and longevity, aligning with the slow fashion movement. This reduces the need for mass production, overconsumption, and ultimately lessens the textile waste and pollution. Second is supporting local economies. Preserving traditional crafts like weaving, dyeing, and embroidery creates employment for local artisans, especially in rural and marginalized communities. By collaborating with local workshops and cooperatives, fashion brands help small business thrive, keeping profits within the community instead of outsourcing to large global manufacturers. Third, countering homogenization and overconsumption. Cultural heritage pieces are typically made with care, intention, and durability. This encourages mindful consumption, and people value the story and quality of what they wear, leading to longer lasting wardrobes and less waste. So preserving heritage involves investing in local artisans and materials, which shifts power away from large corporations and back into hands of communities and encouraging a more inclusive and circular fashion system. Thank you.
Okay, let me know if you are in. Hello, Sandra. Hello, Charles. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, this is the first time I do this, so let me know. Can you see the first question now? Yes?
What is your favorite shop for clothes?
Okay, yes, good, thank you. Yes, so now just mention the place where you like to buy the most. If it's like a very local shop, just write local shop or something like that, because it's hard for us to get to know what it is. So just, otherwise, if it's a more known brand, you can, yeah, you can write it down that it's gonna be understood. Okay, so we have the local vintage shops, very nice. The local shop, Sarah, okay. What else? Oh, sorry, my cat just jumped on my head. Okay, thrift shops. So, okay, so we have here some nice trend already on the way you buy, and we're gonna talk about it later. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. So now let's think about your favorite piece of clothing. Oh, I think I jumped one question, sorry. Okay, if your favorite piece of clothing showed signs of wear or damage, would you fix it, repurpose it, let it go, or you will put it in a frame or put it somewhere safe so you can hug it when you need it? So, okay, 2 people will fix it, very nice. What about the rest? About those special jeans or sweater, that blanket that you have since you were a baby? Also, I don't know if you can see, you can see my cat, I think. Okay, so you will fix it, most of you, very well. Yeah, because we really love that piece of cloth. And please let us know what's your comfort item. Again, it's a jeans, a sweater, what is it? A shirt, a pair of boots, nice. A sweater, okay, very nice. No one has like a little blanket? Okay, a coat, yeah. And I guess we all have that. So I'm asking you this because we should have more items that we love, that we take care of them. Instead of just throwing them away, we should keep them, fix them, because every item should be special in our wardrobe. And now let's talk about if you prefer to buy your clothes in a physical or online store. Physical store, 3 of you, very well. The 5 of you, very well. Okay, we are in a good trend here. And now, which aspects do you associate fast fashion and ultra fast fashion with? You can write what comes to your head. Very well. Yeah, consumption comes with waste, no? We buy a lot and then we use it a couple of times and we put it to waste, because also it's bad quality. It also pollutes, very well. Okay, and now we're gonna talk about going fair. So please select the aspect that concerns you the most about the impact of fashion. So we have the exploitative labor conditions, the cultural appropriation and the design plagiarism, and consumer manipulation, the pollution of air, water, and soil, greenhouse gas emissions, and the biodiversity loss, exploitation labor conditions, greenhouse gas emissions, and cultural appropriation. Okay, well, okay, very interesting. So mainly we have exploitation of labor conditions. And now let's talk about the solutions that you consider most effective in addressing the problems of fast fashion. So you are going to assign some, we have like some points to each of them. So just assign the most of the points to the one that you think is the most important, the one that is more significant. So we have ethical, durable clothes and fair trade. Then recycling, reuse, and reduction of textile waste, that is part of the circularity. Efficient use of resources and clean production. Education on the impact. Regulation and supervision, or supporting local economies and preserving traditional crafts. Okay, so mainly supporting local economies and preserving traditional crafts. It's a very good answer, because when you do that, you are also contributing to the other aspects.
Thank you so much for participating on this laboratory.